Welcome in, everyone, to Lively Lewis Stories.
That's right, we're back with even more awesome adventures with Levi and Ivy.
Set your storytime meter to fun and get ready to join the Lively Lewis crew.
All you need is your imagination and...
Off we go! I can't wait to see where our story takes us today.
Have you ever wanted to get more Lively Lewis in your life?
Well, we've got you covered.
Grab an adult and zoom over to livelylewisshop.com.
Or just click on the link in our show notes.
Enough about that. Let's get to today's super Lively Lewis story.
Snowflakes swirled through the air as Levi and Ivy watched from their playroom window with wide eyes and huge smiles. The world outside had been transformed into a frozen wonderland, filled with possibilities. But more importantly, they had just heard the one thing that every kid wants to hear in the wintertime on a school day. Hey friends, do you know what that is? No school, it's a snow day, called out Levi and Ivy's mom from the living room as she watched the local news. A joyful sound of cheering and applause erupted from the playroom as Levi and Ivy ran through the house, excitedly jumping all around. "This is what I wished for last night," exclaimed Ivy. "I made a wish on a star before I fell asleep last night, and my wish came true." "No way," Levi chimed in. "I made the same wish." As Levi and his sister laughed over their wishes coming true, they didn't realize that their dad had overheard them. "Wow, are you two serious?" he asked, sounding very excited for them. "Yeah, Dad, why?" Ivy asked as she took another look out the window at the snow piling up in her backyard. "I heard when I was a kid that if you were lucky enough to wish on the snow star for snow and your wish comes true, that your snow day will be filled with magic," said Levi and Ivy's dad with a big smile. "At least that's what my grandma used to tell me. And ever since she did, every winter night when I was a kid, I would wish on a star that it would snow, just hoping it was the snow star and that my wish would come true. I guess you'll just have to wait and see if you wished on the right star." Levi and Ivy's dad stared off into the distance as if he was remembering something very special and close to his heart. "So?" said Levi, interrupting his dad's deep thought. "Did it ever happen for you?" "Yeah, Dad, did you ever wish on the snow star and have a magical snow day?" added Ivy. "Oh, yes," said Levi and Ivy's dad. "Just one time. It was purely by luck, as it always is, that I picked the snow star one night when I was just about your age. Then the next day I woke up to a neighborhood full of snow, and a day I would never forget." Levi and Ivy didn't take their eyes off their dad as he told them all about his magical winter adventure. They could have not been more interested. "It was pretty amazing," said Levi and Ivy's dad, pouring himself a cup of coffee and taking a seat at the table. "So how do we know if one of us or both of us wished on the snow star last night?" asked Ivy. "I mean, there are millions of stars in the sky. How do we know if we were looking at the right one when we made our wish?" "Oh, you'll know," said their dad with a knowing laugh. "You'll definitely know. If you wished on the snow star, the snow will let you know. You just have to be outside to hear it." Levi and Ivy didn't let one more minute pass as they raced upstairs to get dressed for the day. "Magical snow day or not, you still have to eat breakfast and brush your teeth," called Levi and Ivy's mom as they ran out of the kitchen. As they got ready upstairs in their room, Levi and Ivy shouted back and forth to each other what they hoped for if they were lucky enough to get a magical snow day. "I'd love if all the snow turned into marshmallows," said Ivy as she put on her big fluffy socks. "That would be awesome," replied Levi as he looked for his snow gloves in the closet. "I would love if every time we went sledding, we could snap our fingers and be transported back to the top of the hill. Walking all the way back up every time makes me so tired." "Good one," said Ivy. "What if the snow was bouncy, like giant winter trampoline? Or the trees were filled with snow cones instead of icicles?" said Levi. "Or the snow wasn't cold, but instead nice and warm, so we could stay out all day without getting frozen toes," added Ivy. "I think we should go outside and see if any of this actually happens," laughed Levi as he stood in front of Ivy's bedroom door. "Sounds good to me," said Ivy. But as they started to head downstairs, Levi stopped his sister and said, "Hey, Ivy, just remember, even if we didn't wish on the snow star last night and we don't get a magical snow day, it's still a snow day and we'll have fun together." "Totally," replied Ivy. "But I'm really hoping for a little bit of magic." "Me too," whispered Levi as he and Ivy ran down the stairs. They did have to stop for breakfast and, of course, brush their teeth. But before they knew it, they were outside, completely outfitted for a day in the snow in warm coats, hats, scarves, gloves, and boots. They each took their first steps into the soft, sparkling snow cautiously and very quietly. They didn't know how the snow was going to tell them if they were about to have a magical day, but they certainly didn't want to miss it. I'm so excited for them, thought Levi and Ivy's dad as he watched them from his office window. I hope they wish on the snow star. But the only way they'll know for sure is if they stay outside and wait for a sign. He stepped away from the window and turned his attention to his work, as Levi and Ivy's mom did the same. While outside in the backyard, Levi and Ivy were busy looking and listening for any signs of magic. However, all they heard was the sound of thousands of snowflakes lightly landing on the ground around them. "What do we do now?" asked Levi in a whisper. "I think we should just do what we normally do. Like it was a normal snow day," said Ivy. "And if something magic is supposed to happen, it will. Like you said, even if we didn't wish on the snow star and we don't get a magical snow day, it's still a snow day and we'll have fun together." "You're right, Ivy. We don't want to miss out on all of this winter fun," said Levi. "Magic or not, snow days are awesome." Levi and Ivy then started their snow day, doing one of their most favorite things, building a snow fort. But as they did, they kept their eyes open for any signs of magic in the air or in the snow. Every once in a while, Ivy would grab a little handful of snow and give it a quick taste. "Just checking to see if it tastes like marshmallows," she would tell Levi. And as he looked up at the trees overhead, he explained that he was checking for tasty snow cones. As they went along building their snow fort, they laughed and talked and enjoyed the frozen wonderland that was now their backyard. "Well, it's still pretty cold out there. So my idea of magic winter warm weather hasn't happened," said Ivy. "And your snow trampoline didn't happen either," said Levi as he jumped from the picnic table onto the firm frosted ground below. "But I'm still having fun out here." "Me too," said Ivy. "How about we make a snowman?" Levi and Ivy immediately began rolling up large mounds of snow to form the snowman's body. As they gathered rocks for their eyes and mouth and a carrot of the nose, they put their face together excitedly, thinking that maybe when all the pieces were in place, that it would magically come to life. Levi added the last rock to his mouth and stepped back, not knowing what would happen next. Then he heard something, a little voice that said, "Hi, Levi and Ivy." "No way!" yelled Levi. "Our snowman is magic!" Then he heard another sound, a sound he recognized very well. It was Ivy laughing. "That was me, Levi," she said as she giggled behind her gloves. "I'm sorry. I hope you're not mad. I was just having some fun." Levi, who loved a good prank, was proud of his sister for her silly joke. He laughed along with her, but also grabbed a few snowballs from their snow fort and started a snowball fight. Levi threw a snowball toward Ivy, knocking her earmuffs to the ground. "Good throw," she called out, picking up a clump of snow and throwing it back at Levi. Then the two threw snowballs back and forth, running all around the backyard until Levi hit Ivy as she was jumping over a toy they had left out in the backyard. She tripped and fell on the ground. He ran over to make sure his sister was okay and found she was just fine. "I'm all good," said Ivy. "And while I'm down here, I should probably make a snow angel." And without wasting another second, Ivy began moving her arms up and down as she laid in the soft, chilly snow. Levi continued to throw snowballs, trying to hit a tree in the distance. As snowflakes continued to fall all around her, Ivy formed the wings of the snow angel with her arms and the bottoms of her angel's dress with her legs. Side to side and back and forth, she cleared the snow beneath her until she was all done. Ivy carefully stood up, not wanting to mess up all her hard work. She hopped to the side to look at the snow angel she had created and called Levi over to take a look too. "Looks pretty good, Ivy," he called out to his sister as they both stared at the perfect imprint on the ground. "Do you think we need to make another wish?" asked Ivy. "What do you mean?" asked Levi. "I know we made a wish for it to snow, and now we're waiting to see if our snow day is filled with magic. But do you think maybe we need to make another wish to see if we can get the magic to start?" explained Ivy. "I guess it couldn't hurt," said Levi as he tossed a snowball back and forth in his hands. Ivy then stood next to her snow angel and whispered a wish for her snow creation to come to life and join her and Levi for a magical snow day. After Ivy was done with their wish, Levi looked at the shimmering snowball in his hands. He then took some of the sparkling snowflakes and sprinkled them over the snow angel. "A little extra snow couldn't hurt." giggled Levi. Levi and Ivy both watched the snow angel for a minute or two, and much to their disappointment, nothing happened. Ivy shrugged her shoulders, and Levi turned around to make some more snowballs. "Don't be upset, Ivy," said Levi. "We still have all day for the magic to make itself known." "I guess," said Ivy, trying to stay positive. Levi packed down the snow in his hands and got ready to toss another snowball when he heard something. A little voice that said, "Hi, Levi and Ivy." "Good one, Ivy," answered Levi, "but I'm not falling for that prank again." "What prank?" asked Ivy as she walked back over toward Levi and her snow angel. She had walked back over to their snow fort while Levi was making snowballs. "The talking snow angel prank," answered Levi. "I fell for the talking snowman, but not again." "I was way over at the snow fort," said Ivy, "and I didn't say a thing." All of a sudden, Levi and Ivy's eyes got wide, as if they had just remembered that their snow day had the potential to be truly magical. They looked at each other and slowly turned around to face the snow angel that Ivy had just made. And that's when they saw it. Or should I say, her. "Hello, Levi and Ivy," said a dazzling figure made of glistening snow. "My name is Aurelia, and I am one of millions of winter guardians that watches over this most magical time of year. I've been asleep for a very long time, and I would so like to thank you for waking me up. I need your help." Levi and Ivy were understandably at a loss for words. They stood in front of Aurelia with wide eyes and shocked looks on their faces. However, those confused looks quickly turned into excited smiles as they began to jump around their backyard. "We did it! We did it!" shouted Levi and Ivy in a whisper as not to draw attention to their real-life snow angel. "We wished on the snow star, and now our whole snow day will be magical." "What should we do first?" asked Levi to Ivy. "Should we do the marshmallow snow thing or the not having to walk to the top of the sledding hill thing?" "I feel a little hungry, so how about the marshmallow snow first, then we'll go sledding," suggested Ivy. "Works for me," cheered Levi, high-fiving his sister. It was then that they realized that they had not said anything to Aurelia. They both looked at the snow angel and realized she was just staring at them, waiting for a chance to explain herself. "We're so sorry, Aurelia. How are you? Do you need anything?" said Ivy. "Yeah. Are you hungry? Do you like sledding? What's it like being made of snow?" added Levi. Aurelia laughed and smiled at Levi and Ivy. "I know this is a lot to take in, but I heard you mention the snow star, so you had an idea that something extra special could happen today? That's good," said Aurelia. "I'm so happy to see both of you because, like I was saying, I need your help." "Help?" asked Levi and Ivy, who saw their dreams of a fun, magical snow day slipping away. "I'm sorry to say, even though your magical ideas do sound very fun, I love marshmallows too. We can't even think about changing snow into tasty treats until we restore the balance to this winter season," said Aurelia. "I've been told that a very mischievous frost sprite named Shiver is threatened to freeze the world in an endless winter. And as much as I love the winter, your world needs all the seasons. Each one is very important in its own way, and if one takes over completely, it won't be good at all." At first, Levi and Ivy were more than a little surprised that Aurelia had work for them to do on their magical day. But the more they thought about it, the more the thought of a winter adventure to defeat a mischievous frost sprite sounded pretty cool. "We're in!" exclaimed Levi and Ivy together. Aurelia, who was waiting to see how Levi and Ivy would react to her big, important request, was equally as excited to have their help. The newly formed team of winter warriors set off for Levi and Ivy's treehouse to come up with a plan to stop Shiver. "I have so many questions," began Levi, "but my first one is, where is Shiver right now?" "He's close by," answered Aurelia. "You can tell he's near when you feel a particularly cold north wind blow. The kind of cold that chatters your teeth and stings your nose." Just as Aurelia said that, Levi and Ivy shivered and huddled close together. "Oh, I see what you mean," said Ivy. What can we do to stop him from freezing the whole world? Does he have any weaknesses?" "That's a great place to start," said Aurelia. "I don't think it will come as a surprise that Shiver does not like warm weather. In fact, he doesn't even like warm weather things, like bathing suits, flip-flops, or lemonade. It's very upsetting and distracting to him, So we may be able to use that to our advantage if we need to throw him off his game. That sounds good, said Levi. Do we know how he plans to freeze the whole world? Classic gigantic freeze ray 3000 that he created in his frosty cold mountain cave in the Arctic, said Aurelia. He's been working on it for years, and all that time I've been keeping a close watch on him. But he protects his Arctic cave very well, and I was never able to get in and stop him myself. I could only watch and try to follow his progress. Aurelia went on to tell Levi and Ivy how she heard him talking about completing the freeze ray 3000 that day and how he's set to try it out. So you have no idea how happy I was when you both wished on the snow star last night, said Aurelia, because I need all the help I can get. Well, you've got it, answered Levi and Ivy together. And as they assured Aurelia they would stay by her side to defeat Shiver, a freezing cold wind blew through the treehouse. Even Aurelia shivered. And she's made of snow. Shiver is close by, whispered Aurelia. I think it's time we start our adventure. Hey friends, that was part 1 of The Magical Snow Angel. Come back soon for part 2.
Thanks for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed the story and learned a little something too.
And since we know everyone has their own story, we'd love to hear yours.
If you have an idea for a Lively Lewis story, leave a comment on our Apple Podcast review page with 5 stars, your idea, and your little one's name.
Then maybe our next adventure will be with you.
Until our next Storytime Hangout.
Thanks for listening. We can't wait to share another fun, Lively Lewis story with you.